What's going on, family? This is Richie. This is another episode of The Bridge. I'm not going to waste your time. Let's get right into it. I know 2020 was crazy, but already 2021 has already started off crazy. This episode right here is called The Great Delusion. I want you to listen to this verse I'm about to read to you. It's from 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 10 and 11. Watch this. And with all deceivableness and all unrighteousness in them that perish because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them a strong delusion. Now pay attention to that part right there. God shall send them a strong delusion, and they shall believe a lie. The part that I really want you to focus on is the part where it said, God shall send them a strong delusion. Now, if you don't know what a delusion is, in the original language, that word delusion means fraudulent. It means something that's fake. It's counterfeit. If I was Italian, I'd say it's a fugazi.
That's a fugazi? How do you know it's a fugazi?
Basically, it's you have something that's real, and then you have something that's a knockoff. You got something that's true, something that's actually authentic, and then you got something that's counterfeit. And that's what that's talking about. It says that in the last days, the days that we're living in right now, God is going to cause a whole bunch of people in the world to believe something that's actually delusional. It's a delusional version of a truth. It's a diluted version of the truth. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, what am I talking about? So let me give you an example of what I mean. Right now, I got these two glasses, okay? Now, I want you to pay attention real closely to what I'm about to do. Y'all see this, okay? This is a glass of Pepsi, okay? Now, watch this. Hold on 1 second. Now, let me ask all y'all out there. This is a glass of Pepsi. You know that because you just saw me pour it. Is this a glass of Pepsi? Take some time, think about it, and ask yourself, is this a glass of Pepsi? Now, it's an accurate statement to say that this is a glass of Pepsi, but this is not a glass of Pepsi. This is a diluted version of a glass of Pepsi. To say that this is a glass of Pepsi, that will not be an accurate statement. This is a glass of Pepsi, but this is a glass of Pepsi with something else added to it. It's a diluted version. This represents the truth, and this represents a diluted version of the truth. And that's basically what it means to have discernment. To have discernment doesn't mean that you can tell a Pepsi from an orange juice. It means you can tell, having discernment means you can tell a Pepsi from something that almost looks like a Pepsi. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's going on right now in America and all across the world. People are believing something that they believe is the truth, but it's not really the truth. It's a diluted version of the truth. And that's what God is causing millions, in fact, billions of people to believe right now. They're believing a diluted version of the truth. It sounds like it's the truth. It makes sense like it's the truth. When they hear the logic in it, it makes them feel good. But the truth is, it's not actually the authentic truth. It's a diluted version of the truth. It looks like the truth. It smells like the truth. Everything, it might even taste like the truth. But the truth is that it's not the truth. God just sent a diluted version of the truth. And these kind of things are happening all across the world. It's even happening in California. In fact, our beloved Gavin Newsom, a.k.a. King Gavin Newsom, a.k.a. Emperor Gavin Newsom, and if you don't know why I'm calling him that, it's probably because you don't live in California. But anybody who lives in California knows he's been running this whole state into the ground, and he's basically been treating it as if he's an emperor or a governor. Well, he signed a law in 2020, I believe it was in September of 2020, where basically he said, the law says that January 1st, 2020, there will be a new law that says if I go to jail, the police have to ask me what gender do I identify with. And if I tell them that I identify with being a woman, they will take me to a woman's jail. If a woman says I identify with being a man, they will take that woman to a man's jail. Listen to what I just said. A lot of you people that live in California, you don't even know this is what's going on right now. If you're a man and you break the law, the police will ask you what gender do you identify with, and based on what you say, they will basically take you to the jail of the gender that you identify with. Now, the reason they're doing this is because the people who run California, the Democrats, Gavin Newsom, and a lot of the Democrat politicians that are pushing for these new gender identity roles, they believe that this is the truth. Gavin Newsom did a press conference right after he signed the bill, and he said that this bill moves us one step forward towards equality. So, in his mind, that's the truth. In his mind, that's the idea of righteousness. He believes he's doing the right thing by respecting everyone's gender identity. He believes that that's the truth. And believe it or not, there are a whole bunch of people in California, crazy people, who believe that this is appropriate. They believe that basically a person should be able to be treated not by what they are, not by what reality says they are, but they should be treated by whatever they identify with. This is the society that we're living in. And here's what's really crazy. Society has gotten so out of whack, and society has gotten so crazy that if I get on this platform right now and I say that a man is a man and a woman is a woman, that's considered controversial. Just let that simmer for a second. Just think about how crazy that sounds. Society has gotten so far left that if I say that a man is a man and a woman is a woman and there are only two genders, just me saying that will cause people to protest me. Just me saying that could get me physically attacked on the street. But don't none of y'all try that, because I ain't with all that. So, this is just one example of people starting to believe things that are really not true. And yes, if you live in California, if you might not even believe me, go look it up yourself. If you live in California, that is the new rule according to Gavin Newsom. If you break the law. Now, for some reason, you know what's crazy? This means that there are going to be a whole lot of men in jail, in women's jails. It's going to be basically co-ed jails. And it also means a whole lot of babies are going to be being made in the women's jail. It also means that a whole lot of rapes are going to be happening in the women's jails. Because I guarantee you, a man who robs a bank and gets 10 to 20 years in prison, he's probably going to ask himself, do I want to spend 20 years with a bunch of men, or do I want to spend 20 years with a bunch of women? And I also have a sneaky suspicion that if you have a woman who's been like a tomboy her whole life, or you have a woman who identifies with being a man, if they break the law and the state of California asks them, which gender do you identify with? Something tells me that this woman who's been identifying as a man her whole life, she's not gonna wanna be in a jail filled with men. She's gonna wanna go back to being a woman. Because I guarantee you, whatever woman goes into a man's jail and has to be the cellmate of a man for the next 15 years, it's going to be problems in that cell. And when I say it's going to be problems, I don't mean it's going to be problems for the man. It's going to be problems for the woman. This is the world we're living in now. And guess what? Millions of people in California actually believe this is right, because they believe that you have to respect people's gender identity. That is an example of people believing something that's a fraudulent truth. They're believing a fugazi truth, a counterfeit. It sounds like it makes sense. It makes you feel good when you listen to it. But the truth is, a man is a man and a woman is a woman. There are only two genders. And when you switch genders like that, that's a slap in the face to God. That's a slap in the face to nature. That's a slap in the face to science. Now, I know this makes a lot of y'all mad out there. Tell you the truth, I don't really care. If you don't like it, you ain't gotta subscribe, but this is the truth. And this really disturbs me because I could really see the the direction that society is going, and many people are going along with this because they're believing a diluted version of the truth. So, if you were blessed by this video, please like, subscribe, share, follow me on social media, and I will see you guys on the next one.